Hello, everybody, and welcome to Super Jess World's Pew 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 Finger Guns. My name is Anthony Alicio, and today I am joined, as always, by my very good friend, the stupendous of Waves.
Hello, everyone. Hope you guys had a good weekend.
We've certainly had a good weekend. What week is this?
This is weekday.
Weekday? It is a weekday.
Wednesday. It's Thursday.
It's Thursday, my dudes. So
it's Thursday.
A little bit of context for this podcast really quick, just to get this out of the way. I am traveling to London and Sweden next week, and because of that, we can't record a podcast, obviously, so we're recording this a week prior to its upload. So if we're a week behind news, that's why.
If something monumental happened in the news concerning the two big topics that we're going to be talking about today, we are sorry.
Yes.
And those two things that we'll be talking about, since the last podcast was about like very real life stuff. We had some roommate stories. Yeah. We had some roller coaster stories.
And don't forget about our even more recent podcast that we haven't even recorded yet.
Yeah, we have.
Where we react to the Oscar winners, because that's in the future, because we'll have time to make that one.
So there's a very, very crazy order. So we recorded a podcast yesterday that was posted yesterday.
We're making this more complicated than it needs to be.
No, I want to try and explain it to them. Our audience is intelligent.
Yes.
All 30 of them.
Okay. It's 32.
32,
dude.
Sorry.
Today is February 21st.
But two of those people are you and me, so all 30 of them. Okay, so.
And your mom.
Oh, my mom did subscribe.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom. So, we recorded a podcast yesterday that was posted today.
February 20th.
We're recording this podcast today.
February 21st.
Which will be posted sometime next week?
This will be probably, midweek next week.
So you guys are listening to us from the future.
Yes.
But not from the near future, like the distant future.
Is Donald Trump still the president in the future?
Did Black Panther win at the Oscars?
Who knows? We haven't seen the Oscars yet because we're in the past and you're in the future.
Anyway, so then after this, after the Oscars are announced, we'll be recording another podcast that you guys will have the opportunity to watch before this one airs.
Yes.
It's like the Back to the Future timeline.
If you watch these out of order, say that this is the first one you listen to, go back and listen to the ones prior to this and be like, wow, that was crazy. Yo, let's make Oscar predictions really quick. You ready? Best film, Black Panther. Best director,
Black Panther.
Black Panther. I don't know if he was nominated.
I don't think he was.
Best animated short film,
Black Panther.
Isn't it going to be crazy when Black Panther wins all of these categories?
I just can't wait for Black Panther to win Best Supporting Actress.
Is there a nomination for that?
What?
I you know what? You're right. I just realized that was a joke. I was like, who got Best Supporting Actress? I'm confused. Best Actor, T'Challa, Black Panther. Not Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther.
All right, so today, my friends, we will be talking about everything Star Wars for the first 20 minutes.
What?
And then for the 20 minutes following that, we'll talk about some Marvel stuff, and we'll wrap it all up.
That's how I...
That was sad.
That was my... You know what? Whatever.
So...
Just get to it. What do you want to talk about?
So... What are your opinions on a lot of the news that has come out recently? Shall you update people on the news?
The news about the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie being canceled?
Sure, we can talk about that.
And then the Disney Plus thing?
Yep.
I think it's interesting. I am not shocked.
Let's fill in our audience.
So there's been plans, nothing that was like, really set in stone, because they've been incredibly vague with all of these different franchises.
At some point in time, though, I can confirm that an Obi-Wan movie was in fact in production at Lucasfilm.
Yeah, but when you say in production, does that just mean like there's somebody writing it and they're maybe making storyboards, but like they probably didn't go even as far as casting, right?
Right, that's what I would guess. However,
Like pre-production?
There were talks that Ewan McGregor had even been offered a role in it.
Yeah.
Because he was at the Solo premiere, and a lot of people didn't know why.
Yes.
So I believe if Solo had been successful, Obi-Wan would have been announced in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
But they called an audible. And Bob Iger even said that he wanted to, quote, take a different direction with these Marvel anthology movies, which I interpret that as they're going away.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Rogue One came out as the first anthology movie,
and killed at the box office.
It did really well, but it wasn't like incredibly well received. Like nobody went out and said like this is the best Star Wars movie ever. Like
I think it was very well received actually.
There are definitely a lot of people that liked it.
In the Star Wars fan base, it's still very well received. In the Star Wars fan base, a lot of people think that it's the best of any of the movies that have come out.
Really?
Really?
That shocks me. But like, point is, Rogue One didn't change anything as far as like what they were planning to do with these movies. Solo came out, they filmed the movie twice, fired the directors, hired a new director, spent easily in the ballpark of what, $600 million making that movie? Not
with
like
promotion?
With promotion.
Probably.
And then the movie made nowhere near the amount of money they wanted to make.
Or needed it to make.
Yeah, it's in the red. So because of that movie, they had to rethink what they're going to do because they realized that they can't make movies that people don't want. I would argue that a lot of people would probably really like an Obi-Wan movie.
An Obi-Wan movie would be successful at the box office. I don't really know what this separation behind the Lucasfilm like executive and story group thing is. I honestly don't think they have a grasp of the popularity of certain characters.
Yeah.
I feel like I do because I've been posting videos on these characters and like characters that I find interesting. Like I think that they grossly underestimated the popularity of Luke Skywalker. I think they grossly overestimated the popularity of Han Solo. It's just stuff like that. I would say like overall Han Solo is a more interesting character, but like as far as like a more interesting character moving forward.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying by that? Yeah.
Han Solo's story is already over by the time you get to The Force Awakens for the most part.
By the time you get to Jedi, it's over.
Yeah, exactly. They did some interesting stuff with him as far as like just kind of giving you like ideas of what he's been up to between Jedi and The Force Awakens that makes his character a little more interesting. But like ultimately, I mean, Harrison Ford himself wanted that character dead when they were filming Empire because he just thought his story was over. And then George famously told him nobody wants to buy a dead Han Solo toy.
Yep.
So, like, what were we talking about?
Obi-Wan.
So Obi-Wan, they were in at least pre-production for that movie, and now because of Solo bombing at the box office,
It didn't bomb at the box office.
It bombs first. That's a bomb. If you fail to make the amount of money you need to be a profitable movie, it's a bomb.
Are you sure?
For Disney, it's a bomb. When they have a movie that just slightly underperforms, they tend to consider it a failure.
Yeah, like Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron made $187 million opening weekend at the box office. They thought it was a failure because the first Avengers made $207 million. So it's like they take that shit very seriously.
Right.
So when a Star Wars movie comes out, which the first one they put out, The Force Awakens, made $250 million. Rogue One makes $150 million. Last Jedi makes $220 million. And Han Solo's movie makes $80 million. Like,
yeah.
You know.
The Last Jedi made $220 million opening weekend. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's crazy good numbers.
It's amazing. I think it's still the third highest opening in history. Right behind The Force Awakens is the second, and Infinity War is the first.
Wow.
Yeah. So Last Jedi did not underperform. Like, I'm sure that it probably ran out of steam a little faster than The Force Awakens did. It didn't perform I don't even want to say nearly as well. It didn't perform as well as The Force Awakens, internationally, I think. But it still made a ton of money. And even though it was divisive, ultimately they're okay with that because as long as the movie makes money, they're going to move forward. Kind of like the whole thing you see with like DC. You know, those movies, they know that the fans do not like it, but they still actually make a lot of money.
Like Batman v Superman made a ton of money, right?
That movie made like 160 or something like that opening weekend, and I think it grossed close to $1 billion in its entire run. And
160. Rogue One made 150.
It was something like 160. It might not have been.
Wow. So like Rogue One was comparative to Batman v Superman.
Yeah. 150 is huge. Not a lot of movies ever make that kind of money.
Yeah.
Some of them do. Like the Spider-Man 3 made 150. And I know that like the Beauty and the Beast movie, I think like had $170 million opening weekend.
Wow.
Like every now and then there's just some kind of movie that just is really,
what was
really good.
Suicide Squad's opening weekend?
I want to say it was in the ballpark of just like around 100 million. But I think it was a big opening weekend. I could look that up really quick. But
anyway, going back on track to the Obi-Wan news. So instead of having an actual movie, they've officially canceled production on the Obi-Wan Kenobi film. However, with the Disney Plus series, which apparently does have substantial money behind it, they are probably going to be doing a limited series for Disney Plus. And they're looking at 6 episodes, like a 6-episode arc with Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That sounds great to me.
In live action.
Yeah. I think that's a huge problem with a lot of these TV series that you see on like streaming services is they just make them way too long. We always talk about it. The best example of it is how poorly they've executed the Marvel Netflix shows.
We were just talking about this a little while before.
Yeah.
How many people online complaining about all these shows being canceled? Do you think actually watched the entirety of all those shows?
No, I think it's mostly just vocal over Daredevil. That's the only thing that I've really heard a lot of complaining about. It's like, please don't cancel Daredevil. But I didn't hear anybody say like, oh no, Iron Fist is gone or no more Defenders. Like it's the popularity started with Daredevil, and I think people stuck to that one the most. But like the other ones, I think nobody really even cared about in the first place. So, but the point is, those shows, it's like they think that they know the amount of episodes that somebody wants. They want to make like a long TV series. I don't know exactly why that is. I don't know how that profits them. But like you can't make a 13-hour movie. So
that's always been my crutch with TV shows.
Yeah.
You know me. I don't watch TV shows.
Yeah. There are very few TV shows that actually pull it off, where they have very little wasted space in their running time. Like, I know that both of our favorite show ever is Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, Game of Thrones is also really good. But like Breaking Bad, there's barely any wasted time in any of those seasons, and most of their seasons are 16 episodes. But that's rare. You don't get a Breaking Bad every day.
Yeah, because it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, exactly. There was a guy that had an idea behind it, and he cared so much about every episode and made sure that that show was as perfect as he could possibly make it. And it's just entertaining from one end to the other. But that's not how every TV show works. Most TV shows don't even do that.
That's why 6 episodes is going to be perfect.
Yeah. 6 episodes is like basically 2 Obi-Wan movies in a streaming service.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I am going to reserve whether I think that's good or not once I see The Mandalorian.
That's a good point too.
That's my big thing.
Do you know how many episodes there's going to be of The Mandalorian?
I think it's 6 as well. Give me 1 second. But like, that's my big thing. I want to see how The Mandalorian is. I want to see what it looks like. More importantly, I am undecided yet because I feel like an Obi-Wan movie would be awesome.
Yeah.
And that it could work. But I don't know.
I think that it's definitely a good direction for them to go into. I have a lot of faith in the Mandalorian show because
Jon Favreau?
Jon Favreau isn't just a talented director, but he's also a director that's worked through this Disney machine before. And I think that's going to serve him well in this project. And another thing too is I think that because it's on this streaming service, I'm pretty sure that Disney, whether it's
There's 8 episodes of
8 episodes, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel, I think that Disney is well aware that if they're going to put out the streaming service, they got to not only put out content, but it's got to be worth watching. They got to have people, have a reason to go on to Disney Plus, because the reality is it's like you could make a streaming service, but Netflix is still huge, and you got to be able to compete. And they know that Netflix has great original content, right? That's what everybody says about Netflix.
Right.
It's like
They got like Bird Box, which grosses huge numbers apparently.
Yeah.
And what other recent
so you got like House of Cards was huge. Obviously now that's different, but like Orange is the New Black, an original Netflix TV show. Ozark is another one that people are like. They have movies like Bright come out, and a lot of people watched Bright and liked Bright. And the point is, it's like they're just always generating original content. They make so much original content. I think most people don't realize that. Like, it almost seems like half of what's on Netflix is original content.
Yeah.
And in that way, they're really hard to compete with, because that's not something you see with Hulu. Like, Hulu does make original content, but what's like the last thing that you saw?
The I, Tonya movie.
That was from Hulu?
I think so.
I didn't know that.
I am not 100%.
That's so weird. I know that
that
like
movie's not bad either.
There are different. It's weird, like, because Amazon makes movies too, but they don't necessarily go straight to Amazon. They could go into theaters. Like the I, Tonya movie went to theaters. So like Manchester by the Sea was made by Amazon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, like Disney Plus has the opportunity though to do what Netflix and Hulu and Amazon do, but on a whole other level, because now they have their properties that are the hottest properties in like
Marvel
film
and
right
Star
now.
Wars hottest properties.
So you come out and it's like you're not making like, you know, a Jessica Jones show and a Luke Cage show. Like now you're making like
Loki.
MCU character shows. You got a Loki TV show. They said that there was going to be like a Scarlet Witch thing or a Falcon thing, and then like there was talk about Spider-Man, and I think that would work perfect for Spider-Man. I would love to see a TV series with Spider-Man. And then you got now The Mandalorian. I think Obi-Wan is a perfect character to put on there because it's a hot name. People know who Obi-Wan is, and you could actually like you can make a series and it works with Ewan McGregor because he's the perfect age for it. Like, it's every card is lined up perfectly for them to just knock these out of the park, and I think they know that.
Right.
So they have to come out with good content.
What do you want to see after an Obi-Wan one?
Like, if I had to pick?
Like a series. What series?
I want to give an answer that I feel like, you know, isn't generic, because everybody says, like, you know, Knights of the Old Republic and shit like that.
No, I wouldn't do a Knights of the Old Republic Disney Plus series. That belongs in theaters.
Yeah.
I'm putting my foot down for that. Knights of the Old Republic is not something that needs to be...
I don't think we'd ever get anything really dark on there either. How dark do you think The Mandalorian is going to be in the first place?
Fairly, I would say. Just because of that era. Mm-hmm. And
it's also the nature of
the Mandalorian
the job of being a bounty hunter.
Yeah, the bounty hunter job. Stuff like that. So
yeah.
I would say fairly dark.
Yeah.
A popular answer is like Darth Vader. However, I think Darth Vader works really well when he's shrouded in mystery. Yeah. If you explain that character a little bit too much, he loses his gravitas. Mm-hmm. With that said, I think a character like Maul could be cool.
I mean...
You could bring back Ray Park, too.
Yeah, they already showed that they had interest in bringing back Darth Maul.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like a 4-episode series showcasing some of Maul's adventures after Solo, and there we can tie that up a little bit, and Solo becomes like a little bit worth it.
Yeah,
you can maybe even have a Han Solo series on there. I bet a Han Solo series would work.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, they could probably actually pull that off with
Alden Ehrenreich,
because it's like Reich.
Sorry,
so. I didn't mean to mess that up.
How dare you, Alden? If you're listening, if you're one of our 30 subscribers,
32 subscribers,
we apologize.
Alden, my boy, you did a pretty good job as Solo. I would like to say you get a bad rep, but you could take that. Don't put a ton of money into it. Don't film it twice.
No.
Put it on Disney Plus, and if it's successful enough, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because it's like, really, you know, I feel like everybody that was a part of that whole movie was kind of wronged in the execution of it, and it would be nice to see, like, something paid back to them. And also, that movie is way better than people give it credit for.
Really good.
Yeah.
Perfect shot.
He just threw out like a can, like from 5 feet away and missed it.
No, I didn't miss it. It went right in.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
I thought it fell on the floor.
No, it went in.
Dude, it's on the floor. If I go and look at it, I bet it's on the floor, right?
I promise it went in.
All right.
Get up.
Let me just confirm this
Get
really
up.
quick, guys. I know this is important. Wow.
Suck it!
I thought I could have
Suck
sworn
it.
I saw that hit the floor. That's pretty impressive. 1 for 1. 1 for 1. Do it 9 more times. Let's see what your average is. But
I missed. Anyway, let's talk about something else now that we talked a little bit about Star Wars. How long have we talked about Star Wars?
20 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now, I would like to talk about something in between the Marvel and Star Wars talk.
Is it?
So we saw a movie today for the first time. It was my first viewing of this film and your second or third viewing of this film. And we felt compelled to watch this movie because a new remake is coming out. And that movie is...
A Nightmare on Elm Street? No, it's Child's Play.
I've actually never seen that movie either.
No? Oh my god, dude, you're uncultured, bro.
I'm not uncultured.
You're uncultured.
You're uncultured.
You're uncultured. We watched Child's Play, and Child's Play is an awesome movie because back in like the 80s,
Child's Play is Chucky.
yeah, people just didn't care about what they made a movie out of, and it's the funniest things. It's like you have some actors say they're afraid of a thing, you try to get the best looking puppet you can, you get some creepy guy to do the voice. You, as far as explaining what happened to Chucky, just don't do it. Have a guy say funny words as he holds the doll's head while lightning is in the air. Yeah. And then it's like, okay, so now the demon, the guy is possessed the doll of Chucky. Like, don't think about it too hard. It doesn't require that kind of thinking. And then just have a good practical explosion and you have a Chucky movie. You have an 80s movie. It was just delightful to watch it.
Really?
There are scenes in it that I loved just because it's like refreshing to see a movie that just doesn't take itself seriously at all. Because movies back then, they didn't really take themselves seriously. You know what my favorite scene in the movie is? It's the scene when the mother is threatening to hold Chucky over the fire. Yeah. And then, like, out of nowhere, you're just watching this terrible puppet scream at this woman, "You fucking bitch!" Like, it's the funniest thing. It doesn't take itself seriously.
Were you ever scared during the movie at any point?
Only once, and it was right before that scene where she holds her over the fire, or holds the Chucky doll over the fire. And it wasn't like scary, but it was like definitely the most tense when she drops the batteries and realizes there's no batteries in the doll. Yeah. And then she goes to pick it up. And I think it's only tense because I'm putting myself in that situation as an audience member. I'm just like, could you imagine like having a doll talking in your house and then like realizing that there was no batteries in it, and then you're like, why is it making noise? And then you pick it up, and then its head spins backwards, and it says, "Hi, I'm Chucky." Yeah. And then like she drops it on the floor, and then it just rolls under the couch, and then she goes to look at it under the couch, and you're just waiting for it to attack her from under the couch, but he doesn't. Yeah. And then she threatens him, and then he says, "You fucking bitch." I just love it. That scene is definitely that one is the most tense in the movie, but there's not
That's
a whole...
the most famous Chucky scene of all time too. Mm-hmm.
And we also noticed that there's a set piece in that movie, for lack of a better term, that is very similar looking to Annabelle. Remember? Yeah. Uh-huh. Like, it makes sense to me thinking that like
the first Annabelle movie.
The first Annabelle movie, who directed that? It wasn't James Wan, was it?
Who cares?
Yeah, no, it's not a good movie. But there's an apartment set piece where it's like they're not in a room, but they're in the building. And it's like there's a bunch of like black metal bars everywhere, like almost like fences, but it's inside. It's kind of industrial looking, and there's a big set piece that's the best scene in Annabelle. And there's just a scene where the main mother character in this Child's Play movie is just walking through her apartment, and you see it. And it looks just like a lot like that Annabelle scene. So it's just like interesting to see, like they probably actually drew inspiration from Child's Play.
Yeah, like killer dolls.
Yeah, because it makes sense. It's another killer doll movie. Child's Play was the first.
Which doll are you more scared of? Are you more scared of Annabelle or Chucky?
My real answer, I'm not afraid of either of them because they're like movies. Obviously, I think that these Annabelle movies are better made. I don't think that makes the first one more entertaining. I think definitely the second Annabelle movie is the better one.
But it's like Annabelle isn't even really the scariest part of the second Annabelle movie.
Yeah, it's not. The thing I think about Annabelle, though, is the doll looks so overly scary to the point where it doesn't scare me.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It worked for The Conjuring, but like when they kept on bringing it back,
yeah,
it kind of does look overly scary.
It looks like it's trying to scare you so much that it stops becoming scary. And then it's like the thing that's cool about Chucky is Chucky's just kind of like a weird looking doll. It's just like a ginger.
Chucky doesn't look like he's designed to scare you.
Yeah, and the only time his face ever looks kind of scary is when he's just talking, because he makes different like angry looking facial expressions. And then they do things with the design where it's like there's a scene where there's a detective and they're in their car and the Chucky doll chokes him while he's driving, and to stop him from choking him, he takes the cigarette lighter from his car, which cars used to have back in the day, and he puts it right against Chucky's cheek. So then the rest of the movie, Chucky's got this big burn mark on his cheek, and that makes him look scarier.
Right.
But
it's like in later installments where like they have to sew him back together. They have like all these scars.
They've done a bunch of things. There's like 20 Chucky movies.
Yeah.
It's one of those franchises where they have a million of them.
Apparently the first one and then the newer ones. Not the Cult of Chucky, which was the newest one. That movie was made in 2017.
Yeah, that's the newest one.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one before it. I forget what it's called. It's like the girl in the wheelchair, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But apparently that's like the second best in the entire franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Child's Play.
Somebody tried to like rejuvenate it.
Yeah, but it's not a reboot apparently, which is shocking.
This new one is a complete reboot.
Yeah,
right?
Thank goodness. Do we want to talk about this new one? I delved into the Child's Play franchise.
Yeah,
it devolves into one of the weirdest franchises I've ever seen.
It's just complete absurdity, like as it goes on, right? It just gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah, and it's not.
What's the weirdest thing you've noticed from it, or that you found out while diving into this franchise? Like,
I don't even want. Oh, okay,
just so, please.
Like, Chucky and his new wife, I forget her name.
Let's just call her Chuckette. Chucky and Chuckette.
She has like some type of name.
Stacy.
Anyway, this a giant truck just drove past. Huge truck. They have like this kid, right? Mm-hmm. That's
Chucko
working at like a circus or something, and the kid's not like evil. And the weirdest thing in it is the kid has like no genitalia because he's a doll.
Does he look like a human or does he look like a doll?
He's a doll. He's the son or daughter of Chucky and this other possessed doll that I forgot her name. But this doll has no genitalia. Apparently Chucky is anatomically correct also. There's a line about that. Chucky has a penis.
Nice.
Anyway, this is the Child's Play franchise.
In the logic of the first movie, he says that the longer he's in the Chucky body, he becomes more human. And that his weakness would be his heart, because his heart would have become human enough to kill him. So
I don't want... Stop.
If Chucky was still possessed for a very long time, it would make sense for him to grow a penis.
And this is why they rebooted this movie.
Dude, it's like Star Wars, man. It's an expanded universe. It's a big universe.
Anyway, the kid has no genitalia, so they don't know if it's a boy or a girl. And like the whole last act of the movie, it's like this doll deciding whether it's a boy or a girl.
It sounds very progressive.
It is stupid.
I like it. I think we should probably watch it.
No.
Can we? Please?
I don't want to.
Okay. I'll make you watch it. But,
apparently in this new movie, Chucky is like a part robot.
Yeah.
Because the company that makes these buddy dolls, they had a different name in the original.
Yeah, the original is Good Guys.
Good Guy dolls, yeah. But now they're called buddy dolls.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're like part robot because the company that makes it is like similar to Apple.
Oh.
Like they make phones, tablets, VR experiences.
So it's like a smart doll?
Yeah, uh-huh.
So
exactly. Like it scans its user.
Oh, okay. So they're gonna go for like a bad AI kind of idea.
I hope not, because what makes Chucky so awesome is he's kind of hilarious and
Yeah. He's really funny.
He's funny in like a scary way. He's kind of teetering on the edge of Freddy, but not quite. But I hope they don't just remove his whole personality thing.
Yeah.
I hope it's still a guy trapped in here.
Hopefully they know what they're doing.
And then it has Aubrey Plaza in it, which I'm kind of a fan of. She plays the mom.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So I'm kind of excited for this new Child's Play movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole reboot of it. The whole reboot thing that we talk about, where it's like all these old horror movies have now become blockbusters.
Yeah.
With like Halloween and what was the first one to kick it off?
It was the big one. There might have been something before.
And now we have Pet Sematary too.
Because we have had movies before it, but none of them like really killed it like it. Because there was like a Poltergeist remake.
Yeah.
And that just came out. Nobody watched it. And then like it comes out, and that movie made tons of money.
Yeah.
It just crushed. It broke records for
rated R
movies and horror movies. Like no horror movies ever made as much money as it before.
It's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it is a pretty good movie.
I heard that the It Part 2 is going to be like 3 hours long.
That would be interesting. I'm so curious to see what they're going to do with that movie because they really have a lot of like material.
Yes.
That they can work into that movie.
Stupid It book.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to read it?
No.
Don't. It's stupid.
I've never tried to read a book before.
It really is just overly long, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Everything's just so descriptive. In the words of Mike Staclosta, the co-author of It was cocaine. So
that wasn't the words of Mike Staclosa. That was the words of Jay Bauman.
Same person.
No, different. Jay Bauman's much thinner. Anyway. Shout out to Red Letter Media.
Oh yeah, both of our 30 subscribers.
Yeah, if none of the 32 people on this channel know, our favorite YouTube channel ever, basically Red Letter Media.
Yes, absolutely.
Some people like to cry about them because they call him a prick. We love them, you know.
Yes.
Shout out to Chris.
No,
Stuckman.
stop it. You don't want to make enemies.
I'm not making. I love you, Chris Stuckman. I mean, okay, you're great. I love you. So, nope, no, none of the 32 people listening to this contact Chris Stuckman. Let's let this one fly under his radar. Is there any other movies that are coming out that replicate this pattern of
Pet Sematary? Yeah,
Pet Sematary, but like ideas that are in the works that we haven't heard of, or not that we haven't heard of that there isn't trailers for.
No, but I don't think so because I had no idea there was going to be another Child's Play movie. Like,
oh yeah, that's a great point.
Until the trailer came out. I mean, did you know?
No. You know what though? That might be one of those things though, where it's like the news probably isn't on anybody's radar because there's been 20. You know,
yeah.
I don't know the exact number of Child's Play movies, but
there's a Chucky trilogy. Then there's Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, and then there's 2 other new movies. So how many is that? Is that 7 movies? I think this would be the 8th movie in the Chucky series.
There are 7.
Yeah, so this would be the 8th movie.
This will be the 8th. So too many. The 8th movie. There's 8 Star Wars movies right now.
There's more than 8 Star Wars.
Well, there's 8 Skywalker trilogy Star Wars movies. And when I say trilogy, I mean a trilogy of trilogies.
Everyone always forgets with Star Wars that the Clone Wars pilots were released in theaters. I remember taking my grandpa and making him take me to the theaters to watch that Clone Wars.
There are currently 8 Star Wars movies that have been released with the words episode and then a number following. And when I say that, I mean I understand that it's called Star Wars Return of the Jedi. It's not called Star Wars Episode 6, really, but that's what it is. There's 8 Star Wars movies in that one specific way. Stop disagreeing with me. I am correct.
There's 11.
I hate you.
There's 11 Star Wars movies.
Stranger Things nerd.
Stranger 11. Things nerd.
Get it? Millie Bobby Brown in the house. Please put your fucking head up. Have you seen? Not to get off track, but I know that we love to talk about this shit. Like, have you seen the toys that are coming out of the new Godzilla movie, where you get to see like Mothra in like a full toy form?
No. Does she look beautiful?
She's beautiful. There's a big toy of Ghidorah. Fucking beautiful. I love the wings.
I wish 3-headed monsters existed, but not big ones, like small ones that I could have.
Yeah, like the size of a cat.
Like the size of my cat.
You know in Game of Thrones in the beginning when Khaleesi has the little dragon butts? That would be a really great real thing. Just like imagine iguanas but with wings, and that should be a real thing.
That'd be fire, my guy. Fire.
Yeah.
My cat's gonna crawl.
You could always just get a lizard without wings.
But lizards are so boring, man.
Have you ever had a lizard?
Bleh, bleh, I'm a lizard. Bleh.
I once had a lizard.
I had a snake. My cats are fighting. You never see that stuff between lizards.
You never see lizard brawls?
Look at this.
I've seen lizards fight.
Is putting her paw on the table while the other one looks. They're straight up Mufasa-ing one another.
Oh, yeah.
Shady's looking down and she's like, and y'all look up and shout, save me. And I'll whisper.
I saw a funny meme.
Look at her.
I saw a funny meme about the Lion King movie where it was like something about like
Shady looked away for 1 minute and Kyla smacked her right on the ass.
It was like, are you ready to watch Mufasa die again in the new Lion King reboot in full HD like realism quality? And then it was a picture of Michael Scott from The Office, and it was like, yep, I am ready to get hurt again. Something like that. It's pretty funny. I don't care about The Lion King. I couldn't give a shit.
Really? I'm excited.
No, I don't care at all.
You're gonna.
You know what we can talk about?
Be excited to see it.
Like
idiot.
I'm sure it'll be good. I know that The Lion King is a good movie. I just haven't seen it in forever because I'm an adult. But
The Lion King, my little butts king.
You know what we could talk about for just a brief moment is how terrible Will Smith looks in this fucking Aladdin movie. He looks like ass. Like, I understand that they had to try to do something to make the genie look like the genie live action. You know how, like, he's got the same hair, he's got the same beard that the genie does in the animated movie, but it's just like, it's just Will Smith's face. Like, the genie's face is a really cartoony looking face with like an overly giant chin, and Will Smith is just not a cartoon character, and he looks really stupid in this movie. I don't know why they didn't make it CG. Why are you showing?
Terrifying. Ah! My cat's digging its claws into my
What are you doing, man?
I'm losing it. My cat just scratched me.
Oh my gosh.
That hurt more than watching the Aladdin trailer.
That must have been pretty bad. But why did you just show me the picture that you just showed me?
Because I found it.
He just showed me a picture of one of our friends for no reason, and it was just so awkward.
No, it was funny.
It was funny, but like for real though, it was kind of awkward. Oh, did you hear the news about Chris Hemsworth playing Hulk Hogan in a movie?
Yeah, and to that I say cool.
I think that's going to be funny. We're going to see some Chris Hemsworth Hulkamania in a movie.
It'd be fun to see.
It's not a Hulk Hogan movie, though, right? It's a different movie?
I don't know.
I think it's like a movie about a different wrestler or something, but like Hulk Hogan is like the villain because he's the guy that the guy has to fight. I'm not sure. Let me look this up. And by look this up, I mean take 10 minutes to Google something and probably never get to it.
So, shall we briefly touch on some Marvel news?
We could if you would like, my guy.
What is some Marvel news that we have going?
Well, we discovered that Thor himself is going to be playing Hulk Hogan.
That's great.
Stop showing me pictures. We keep getting Captain Marvel trailers. Captain Marvel has recently, the embargo is... it's not the embargo that's been lifted, but there have been reactions from people seeing the movie, and they've been overwhelmingly positive from what I've heard. A lot of people are saying good things about the movie as a whole. A lot of attention is being paid to Ben Mendelsohn as Talos. Is that really his name?
Scroll.
Wow,
Yes.
I feel so disconnected. I'm such a nerd for all of these things, but this Captain Marvel movie has just not entertained me at all. Like, to figure out who's in it or what the characters do. The only reason I know anything about the movie is from watching The Marvelous Wave.
Oh, shucks, mister.
Yeah, you take that compliment to the bank, you. I cannot, for the life of me, Google the word Chris Hemsworth without getting distracted. Because I just want to find out what the name of this stupid movie is.
Is it called Chris Hemsworth Protect?
No, you're close though. It's actually called Chris Hemsworth Attack. I really hate you for not laughing right now.
Sorry. Haha. Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's gonna be in Men in Black. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Men in Black International.
Yeah. The movie is an untitled Hulk Hogan biopic. There's actually no title.
So it
for
is starring Hulk Hogan.
Yes. Also, I'm looking at the IMDb, and he's credited as playing two characters, and then I realized that Hulk Hogan's name isn't actually Hulk Hogan, and then I'm ridiculous for thinking that it is. Because his name is Terry Bollea. So I understand why he went by the name Hulk Hogan when he was in his wrestling
and now
career.
introducing Terry to the ring.
Terry Bollea. Bollea. It's like, that's a really terrible wrestling name. It reminds me of Bonesaw.
Bonesaw is ready.
That's a cute skirt. Did your husband make that for you? Is that what he
That
says?
joke did not age well.
It definitely didn't. No.
Spider-Man. Homo hater.
Luckily they got a nice new thick Spider-Man. See how thick he is? It's funny. Shut up.
It's super funny.
We should talk about it. With the addition of a female-led superhero movie in the MCU, obviously comes people that are very immature and making really funny jokes. So somebody put a picture of Tom Holland and Brie Larson while they were suited up in their costumes next to each other, like, you know, and Tom Holland's just got. It's just funny. It's funny. Tom Holland's got a sweet ass. That's what we've learned. And you know what? He should. Spider-Man should do squats. He's Spider-Man. He's got to protect because the Sinister Six is going to attack.
Anthony, you take the rest of this thing. I can't.
There's got to be news. There's a giant Iron Man in the new movie.
We already talked about that.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did.
No, we didn't. I don't think we did.
Last podcast.
No, we didn't. I would remember. Don Cheadle is really old, and now he's going to be really old and really tall, and in a big machine.
I'm checking out.
You're checking out?
I'm checking out.
Okay, whatever.
Touch me one more time.
Whatever.
Kick me one
You
more
went
time.
into this podcast tired. You should have had more energy drinks. You're doing our fans wrong.
Was I tired?
Was you?
I was
You
tired.
still tired, boy.
You're tired.
I'm not tired. I'm wide awake, bro. I'm like that Katy Perry song. Wide awake.
Listen to Katy Perry, loser.
Hey, so does Kim Jong-un. And
Cause baby, you're fire.
Kim Jong-un and Dave Skylark.
Come on, let your colors work. Is it the line?
I don't think so.
Baby,
I have no idea.
You're You're gonna leave. I'm going Cause I'm done.
Baby, you're a firework.
I hope someone is watching this and skips to that exact time code.
Yeah.
And is just so confused.
I have a feeling that whoever's listening to this has gotten to this time code and just went, what happened? If you are currently listening to this at 4 minutes and 54 seconds, leave your time code and say, I made it in the comments. I just challenge you to do that because I would be impressed.
You like my first order mug?
It's pretty good as far as coffee mugs go.
It goes Kylo Ren on it.
Yeah, Kylo Ren's really cool.
Is
Kylo Ren gonna wear a mask in Episode 9?
He is, yeah.
Ooh.
It's gonna be his old mask too. It's shattered, and he's gonna
glue it back together.
He's gonna glue it back together using like this red crystal material.
Oh.
There's concept art of all this.
Is he going to glue the penis on upside down, just like the Goonies? Have you ever watched the Goonies?
I'm checking out.
They're rebooting the Goonies.
Are they really?
I think there's a lot of talk. No, not like a reboot, like an old cast returning reboot.
Yay!
Also, Ghostbusters with no chicks. Finally, what we've always wanted. Not to say that chicks made Ghostbusters bad. Paul Feig made Ghostbusters bad.
Who's not a chick?
He's a man.
And he's a man's man.
Well,
I just realized what I said.
Yeah, well, he is a man's man. You know, he is of the homosexual variety. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that. We love gays.
Yeah.
Super Jess World supports gays 100%.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Let's keep them up.
We salute you.
Yeah. Bernie Sanders is running for president again.
I thought you were going to say Bernie Sanders is gay.
No, I'm just trying to think of every little piece of news just to see how long we can keep this thing going.
No.
I want to just see where the car runs out of gas.
I'm going to bed.
Don't go to bed. Stay in your seat, mister. So Bernie Sanders is running for president. Again.
Yay, I guess. I hope he doesn't die.
I recently heard Bernie Sanders described as the funniest sentence I've ever heard in my life as one soup-eating motherfucker.
Describe that.
It looked a man who looks like he eats a lot of soup. I totally see it. Bernie Sanders looks like he eats a whole lot of fucking soup. I also heard this person say that he is at least 70% soup, and I would agree. Good man. I like him. Seems like a good guy.
Are you going to vote for him?
I voted for him the last time. I don't know if he's going to get that far.
You were really into the whole Bernie Sanders
I was really into it. Now I'm not. I've given up. So, it would be interesting to see that happen again. Also, Elizabeth Warren is running, which is funny because everybody's going to make fun of her for saying that she was Native American.
Elizabeth Warren, the ghost hunter?
No, that's
Lorraine
Warren.
My mistake.
Yes. Elizabeth Warren is a politician.
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Anyway, she reminds me a lot of you because apparently she did a DNA test where she was 0.0004% Native American, and then she went and talked about how she was Native American, and everybody started mocking her and calling her Pocahontas and stuff because she's just detached from that reality. Not to say she's a bad politician. She generally is a pretty smart person. But it reminds me of you, because you're 4% black, and you're 15% Spanish or something. And boy, do you just never stop letting people know that. You just you say to yourself, I'm gonna just make sure everyone in this room knows that this cracker they're looking at, he's got some spices cooked into him.
I love all my heritage.
Really quick fun fact about Twitter. Do you know that KFC only follows 11 people on Twitter?
Who?
All of the Spice Girls, which I think there's 5, and then 6 people named Herb. So they follow 11 herbs and spices. And that's it. They don't follow anybody else. Isn't that the most wonderful thing you've ever heard?
I love it. Oh.
I think that's
it's almost as good as the Wendy's Twitter. They just roast people.
Yeah. Do you remember when Chipotle's Twitter was hacked and all the logos were switched to swastikas?
Yes.
And then everybody was this was in 2013 or something. But everybody was just wow, I used to enjoy their food, but now they're Nazis. I can't eat there anymore.
All right, man. Well,
oh my God, you're such a pussy. Okay.
How long has it been?
It's been 48 minutes and 45 seconds.
That's perfect.
All right, we're going to close this one because my buddy decided that he was so tired that he had to record a podcast with me. I hope that you guys are enjoying this week past podcast. in the
blast
future.
from the past.
A blast past. A past blast.
From my ass.
An ass blast. Past blast. That's what we'll call this one. That's the title of this video. Super Jess World episode 13. Blast past blast ass pass.
If you put ass in the title, you're gonna get demonetized.
The S's will be $signs.
Perfect.
Okay. That's what I'm calling it. You have to get to the end to figure out why this title is called that. Anyway.
Congratulations.
You win. Leave in the comments if you understand the title, please. Anyway, we're grateful that you came and listened to us ramble nonsense for an hour.
No. We talked smart for a good 30 minutes of this thing.
Yeah, we did talk a little smart, for sure. We made some points. But anyway, follow me on Instagram, guys. I'm trying to get them followers up.
I noticed that your friend, you know who I'm talking about.
I have a friend. Oh.
Has 1,000 followers. And you only have 180.
Yeah.
Because you're a nerd.
Hey, man. It's more followers than you have.
That's not true. Let me look up how many followers the Stupendous Wave actually has. Because there is a Instagram about it. Do I know the password? No. But, you know, there is a... Instagram's not working. Oh, Lord, there's a fire. The Stupendous Wave. 2,971 followers.
Okay, well, maybe I have.
Bro, I post a lot.
I think I have more followers than you in dog years. Probably.
The last post that I said...
Shit! In dog years, I still have less than you.
Oh, there's a fake Stupendous Wave account.
Shit. I was hoping you weren't going to find that.
It literally says most active on Twitter. I didn't write that, but thanks for the shout out, fake account.
Boom. Roasted.
You guys, I have 2 accounts. I have one that has 3,000 followers and one that has 1,700 followers. And I've posted 4 times on one of those.
Yeah. I left a really good YouTube comment recently. It got a bunch of likes. And I left it under my regular YouTube channel, so I wasn't just getting likes from these 32 subscribers of ours. You want to hear about it really quick?
Sure.
I thought it's going to be unrelatable because it's about drums, but it was funny. There's a YouTube channel called Drumeo. They post stop with that fucking face. It's funny. There's a YouTube channel. They post a bunch of drum videos. They have a bunch of guest drummers, even like really incredibly famous drummers. And there's this one YouTuber drummer named Harry Meyer, and he was on there. And Harry Meyer on his channel, he's really funny. He always plays cowbells, and he always calls everybody dude. So I left a comment that said, in my opinion, not enough cowbell, dude. That was the whole comment. It got like 200 likes. And then somebody left a comment and said, as a drummer, I am so tired of this joke. And then I left, well, it was really more of a Harry Meyer joke than it was a drum joke. So why don't you drop those sticks and grab a pencil because you just got schooled. And then I wrote, falls back into a crowd of my friends yelling, oh! So, yeah.
That's a long comment. That's a lot to read.
Yeah, but guess what, bro? I got him. That guy got.
How many thumbs up did that comment?
I just posted that like an hour ago. I have no news yet. Let's check. Let's do a live update on this. I got to switch accounts. Live update. We're coming at you with the hot facts, hot and fresh, ready to order. Right here, right now. This is all real. None of this was computer generated. 0 likes. Wait. 0 likes. But we're going to get there, my guy. We're going to get there.
Everybody starts from the bottom.
Yeah, but then they get to the top if they keep walking.
And then they...
The only failure is failure to try, my guy. Anyway.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Michael Scott.
No. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. All right. Follow me on Instagram. If you're listening on YouTube, it's in the bio. And by bio, I mean description. If you're... if If you're listening to this on iTunes, fucking subscribe. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, fucking subscribe. And if you haven't gone to the Stupendous Wave and the Marvelous Wave YouTube channels, give him a listen. He really works hard on all of his videos. So, like, they're definitely worth watching, and they're edited really well only because he hires editors to make them. Well, I said something really nice to you, so I had to say something bad. And that's about it. Follow me on Twitter, too, actually. And follow him on Twitter, too. The Stupendous Wave on Twitter and at Jeff Super on Twitter. I tweet like once every 2 weeks, but they're always really not funny. So if you really want to read an underwhelmingly funny tweet, go to my Twitter, and you will. Anyway, that's it for this one. Blast from the past, ass blast. We'll hope that after you listen to this, you'll be willing to give us another chance with our next podcast. All right. Goodbye.